Walk down any busy city street today, and you'll see them everywhere. Sleeves of geometric patterns, tiny symbols on wrists, and elaborate stories told in ink across skin. In modern society, tattoos have moved from a sign of rebellion to a standard accessory of self-expression. But in this sea of ink, there is a specific group of people who choose to remain a blank canvas. They aren't just old-fashioned or afraid of needles. Psychology suggests that the refusal to get a tattoo is often a deeply rooted reflection of a person's relationship with permanence, autonomy, and body integrity. While the world sees plain skin, internally, the non-tattooed individual is often governed by a specific set of cognitive filters. Today, we're going to dive into the hidden mechanics of the unmarked mind to understand why some people find their greatest identity in what they don't put on their bodies. Decidophobia and the weight of permanence. The first reason involves a concept known as decidophobia, the fear of making a decision that cannot be reversed. For a highly analytical mind, a tattoo isn't just art, it's a permanent variable in an ever-changing equation. Psychologically, these individuals are acutely aware of the end-of-history illusion. This is the cognitive bias where we recognize that we have changed significantly in the past, but we mistakenly believe our current self is the final version. People who refuse tattoos often have a high level of future self-awareness. They realize that the person they are at 25 will not be the person they are at 50. To them, committing to a permanent symbol feels like a violation of their future self's right to change their mind. The sanctity of the vessel mindset. The second reason lies in body integrity identity. For many, the skin is not a billboard for expression, but a sacred boundary. In psychology, this is linked to a high internal locus of control. You feel that your identity is entirely internal, contained within your thoughts, actions, and character, rather than externalized on your skin. People with this profile often view their body as a completed masterpiece that requires no further editing. Any addition, no matter how beautiful, feels like graffiti on a temple. This isn't about vanity, it's about a psychological need for environmental consistency. You find peace in knowing that your physical vessel remains exactly as nature intended it. The new non-conformity. Third, we have the paradox of rebellion. Decades ago, getting a tattoo was the ultimate way to stand out. But as tattoos became a multi-billion-dollar industry and a social norm, the psychological reward of getting one shifted. For some, refusing ink is an act of counter-conformity. When the majority is marked, the unmarked skin becomes the new fringe. Psychologically, these individuals derive a sense of identity from the power of none. They resist the pressure to follow a trend, even a long-lasting one, because their sense of self is tied to their ability to resist social contagion. In their minds, the most unique thing you can be in a world of decorated skin is untouched. Sensory sensitivity and control. Finally, there is a neurological component, sensory processing and autonomy. The process of tattooing involves a prolonged, controlled application of pain. For people with high sensory sensitivity, the idea of an elective sensory assault is psychologically repellent. Furthermore, there is the issue of autonomy over alteration. Some people are deeply uncomfortable with the idea of a foreign substance, the ink, permanently residing within their biological system. This is a form of systemic essentialism, where the person feels that for their essence to remain pure, their biological boundaries must remain unbreached. Choosing to remain unmarked is not a lack of creativity, it is a choice of potential. To the solitary, uninked mind, a blank arm represents an infinite number of things you could be, rather than one thing you have to be. Your skin is a quiet testimony to your belief in the internal over the external. The next time you see someone without a single drop of ink, don't assume they are boring. They are likely the architect of a very private, very intentional world. If this resonated with you, join our community. Your piece is worth the effort.